Okay then, Glenn. So if we just look in, and again, this is more kind of like a refresh of all the good stuff we've been doing for the last sort of few sessions, obviously, now with yourself. And again, you haven't had much chance to practice, as you said, and playing more. So the fact you're swinging at this one now is a credit to yourself. I mean, we talked about that sort of setup position there now. You've got a nice line there through your left shoulder down to the shaft, okay? The golf ball, we mentioned a lot about kind of your head movement and how this hip's going to move on the way back, okay? So if we look at the movements here now, you can see a really, really steady head and that right hip turning out of the way really well. Make a nice sort of rotation there. I think sometimes when we get to bat here, if we're cold, we're wrapped up and we're just not feeling fully sort of in terms of the range of motion, I think you might complete the backswing with other body parts, i.e. the wrist. So when you feel that collapse, it's probably more so you're not turning the club, the body more or enough, so therefore you make a movement there now. So that movement there now, we're getting the club to a very, very good position, okay? The reason why I say that is if you think, I'm collapsing the wrist, if your thought is don't collapse the wrist, but you're collapsing them for a reason, you've got to think, okay, what's the reason? If it's not a question, I mean, it may not be that way. I'm just sort of surmising the fact it's been so cold, it's always these conditions now, we get a bit stiff, we're not going to maybe rotate as much. That's potentially something you could lead to and make that. But in terms of that backswing there, very, very nice. As we said, from the down swing now, shifting, you can see that lower half movement here. Now just watch your lead leg. If I put that line up through your shoulder and your left foot, just watch the daylight now disappear. Brilliant. So your left hip moving into that now. Really good. Head staying nicely behind the ball. So you see your hips are moving. Look at your head. Head's not sliding, just rotating. But your hips are moving really, really well there, getting that club back to golf ball. There's kind of impact or just after impact. So for me, you're what I call bookending the golf ball with your head and your hands. So the ball would have been about there, okay? And your hands are in front and your head is behind.
That's good.
Perfect. This is one of the really, really good strokes you made, okay? We've also talked in the past about your path into the golf ball, the sort of the elbow sticking out, okay? So looking down the line here now, club going back nicely now, in line with the toe line here at this sort of takeaway position. Top of the backswing, really good. Club coming through your right shoulder, really good. Club coming back down on line, really good. Striking the golf ball, really good. There's no left elbow popping out there now, and as we release to the target. If I'm being critical on this one, we could have had a little bit more lower half twist there, but again, as a golf shot, it's very, very good. But in general movements there, look at the width on here. I mean, we've talked in the past about your arms being quite stuck to the goal. Look at the width there. That's brilliant. I mean, that movement there now, so good. Nice. Look at the arc of your hands there. If we sort of draw a line here and sort of just go, there's your hands there, arms coming down here, arms coming through there, arms coming through there. That there is a nice soft arc of your hands. In the past we've seen the arms go through here and then go whoop and pull way in the body to try and pull it left and try and hit it harder. And so on and so forth, and again through to a very, very good balanced finish position upon your left, your right foot there. I got to say again, that's probably the best I've seen swing it, I would say, which is again a credit to yourself because you've been working hard. You haven't practiced much, you've been playing quite a lot recently, but you do put time in your game and stuff. So for me, I think going forward, what we'll probably look at now is going to probably into the new year now potentially. If you can get a couple of sessions in for the next sort of few weeks, on here, maybe looking at some of those numbers there in terms of that launch and that height there. Just getting that strike back, and then in the new year we'll go and do a session in for your session of the month there, and we'll do an hour and a half and get a good lot of holes up there and stuff. Okay, that's gonna be a good thing for you to get. You'll get more from that, I think, rather than me sort of just as much as love to see you hit the golf ball really well. I don't want to go, good shot, Glenn, good shot, and then in some way they try and find something to tell you. If that makes sense, because I know you're somebody who definitely thinks a lot about things. By all means, stay a bit more and do some practice. But if you're there and come back in the shop and say, I just think we can have a discussion there maybe. But for the meantime now, as much as I don't want to say, I'm not somebody who said I would do nothing, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. There's no point adding to something that's working when you've got your own thoughts now. I think this movement now in the right hip is good. I think just focus on completing that backswing. I think we the last time we talked about the way you complete your backswing is this and this turn out the way, and they are working really well. And that right sort of dissipates behind your head there nicely. There's no sway. No sway in your body at all. You look how much your head doesn't move between. I mean, it's so stable there. That's brilliant. Really good. So a lot of good in that swing there, and it's going to just keep moving down that, keep practicing that, so it just becomes so ingrained. so when he gets on the golf course, and we can try and get that zip, as you said.
Well, yes. 'Cause the one thing that I find, I mean, all the composite parts, the things that we've worked on, but what I find is that the key one for me, and if I get this right, I think so, is the left shoulder and the right hip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
if I can get that movement in every shot, I don't think about anything else.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they're the main components, the jigsaw. When they're there, the rest kind of happens. You can see that there now. Left shoulder under your chin, right knee and hip going back. Just that movement there now is the best. I mean, in the past I've seen you swaying your head to the right there, or leaning in a different direction, not really turning, lifting your arms up, balance. That movement there now, just very, very, very good, very steady, very stable, very powerful as well. Hence why you're getting some 90+ mile an hour ball speed. So okay. Happy with that, Glenn? That's also very, very good. So